Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a unique IM. It's called Artti T10. It's not FiiO, it's T10. So it's a budget planar IM that you could get around $70 MSRP, but around Amazon or AliExpress, you could find it around $50. I said that on the last video, which is like SimGot EW200. So yeah, this is usually around $50, but technically MSRP it's $70. And the reason I bought these is because they're planar. I was interested in the other one, which is like forgot what its name. I think it's called S-Gore Luna. It's around $40, but from what I've heard from the reviews and Reddit thread, or even HeadFi, is that they don't have the planar base, and I like planar base, so I bought these. And we're gonna talk about it more in depth later. So this is the box of the Artti T10. It's quite big. It's actually quite nice. You open it, you slide it to open, and this is what you get. Pretty nice presentation. And when you open it, you get the IM itself in here. I don't want to put it here, but it's the IM and the case. All the accessories gonna be in here with this one. So that's how the box comes into. So in the box, you get two sets of ear tips, a wide bore and a normal one. The wide bore is softer. The other one is really hard. So you get two sets of ear tips. And lastly, the case. It's a semi-hard shell. It's a cloth case. It's actually, but it's in high quality. It's really hard to break it down. I'm trying. I'm trying to like, yeah, I'm putting some pressure, but it doesn't break down. So it's like quite actually high quality case. The only thing I don't like is I'm walking advertisement with an Artti on it. I really don't like these. But yeah, I don't use the case for my IEMs because for its use case, it's kind of too small. So I bought a new bigger case for it, so I don't use it. But I have other use case where if you're interested, I use it for the Snowsky Retro Nano. So I'm gonna review this down the line in the future. But yeah, the case is so perfect for it. You get, like, I put it in the other half, and the other half is for the connection for the USB and like 4.4 adapter. So yeah, it's actually perfect for it. It's such a snug fit. And that's it for the included accessories. And next we're gonna talk about the IM itself. The cable on these are pretty great. In sub 100 range, I feel like these are my favorite, but I don't have a new like 2025 IM that's around sub 100, so I don't have any info on these, but cable wise, they're really good. From what I've heard on the internet, these are similar to the Lecturer kind of cables. Considering that this is a sister company or like sub company of Lecturers, so it kind of makes sense that they use a similar cable. You can get them from 3.5 to 4.4. So yeah, it's actually pretty nice quality cables. And a decent IM for around $50 if you find them on $50. For the IM itself, it's a plastic shell. It has that 90s look of plastic, but I feel like they're sturdy enough. I don't think they break. So I like using them. Maybe I would use them outside, but I don't use IM right now. Like a wide IM outside because it's hot. But I would definitely use them on outside because they look really sturdy. And next we're gonna have to talk about the comfort. The comfort on these are the worst in terms of my collection. The problem with the comfort on these is the shape. They're not ergonomic enough for the shape. It's just a circle. You can see it's just a circle. And then the worst part is the stem. This stem actually makes it or breaks how comfortable the IEMs are. Like on my ear, I have to find like a better location. Sometimes I think I wear it like this. So They're like pointing down. So yeah, it's the stem that makes it really uncomfortable and painful to your ears. So if you have small ears, maybe they're not comfortable for your ears. I wouldn't recommend them. Like if you have like a smaller ear hole, cause yeah, the stem is painful. Maybe a different cable will help it. I'm not sure. I tried different cable, but it felt the same. It's this thing. So this is the biggest issue. I forgot to add that if you use chin slider on cables, I don't use chin slider, so I generally forgot about it. There's a one problem with the chin slider on this is that they're really tight. I'm trying to pull it right now. So if you're a chin slider user, I wouldn't use these. They're really, really hard. Yeah, I'm really scared of like just ripping it off, the cable itself. They're really like tight. So chin slider users, beware. They're really bad. But other than that, the cable itself is fantastic. And now we can talk about the sound. I'm gonna say it up front that I'm gonna be biased because these are my favorite sets. And we start with the bass. So the bass on these are pronounced, but because they use a planar driver, they're quick, thumpy, and has no decay. The only way to explain it is that once you hear the bass, it's gone the next millisecond. You won't get the rumbliness or like a punchiness, so all you get is a thumpy. There's some sort of rumbliness. It depends on the music actually. Sometimes I can hear on some music that when they use a punchy bass, they sound punchy. So what I want to say is that I think it just reflects the music in a cleaner way. And it's really hard to explain if you don't hear a planar kind of driver. So yeah, if you like a rumbly bass or like punchy bass, you won't get from any planar, I think. Maybe there's some exception because of their tuning, but most of the time you won't get a bass head kind of bass on planar. That's not how they work. Maybe with a multi-driver configuration, then you would maybe get that, but it probably not. It probably won't be planar driver that's making the rumbliness. So that's the bass. And now for the mids. I would say the weakness of these IM is the mids, because these are U-shaped tuning, so they're gonna go backstage in terms of like tuning side. But I wouldn't say they're bad. Like the instrument separation is still fantastic, like because they're planar, the details is absolutely great. So the vocal on these are kind of in the backstage. They're not pronounced, so you won't get the funness in terms of vocal. But there's a weird thing I noticed when I listen to a higher volume. The vocals becomes more livelier compared to the others. I don't know why. I feel like the instrument just gets a little bit volume, but the vocals gets even more power. So if you listen to a lower volume, then the vocals becomes a little bit in the backstage. But if you listen to a higher volume, the vocals becomes livelier. It's a weird thing. It's I don't know how to explain, but that's how I hear it on my ears. And lastly, for the treble, I can say these are bright. So these are tuned in a U shape, like I said earlier, but leaning on the brighter side. So you can perceive them as sibilant. So if you're sensitive to treble or the sibilant, I wouldn't recommend these. But the detail on these, the resolution, is so good. Like it's a steal for a $50 range. Like I wanted to give these the best budget IM that you could buy for your money. But since there's a SimGod AW200 for $40, I gave the best budget to them. But these are like close second in terms of like detail and resolution for $50. Like it's really hard to compete about that. And they're planar too. If you wanna try planar, that sounds planar, then these are your pick. Because the other one that you can buy is probably the Lecture SO8, which are like around $100, or the Artti T10 Pro, which are also similar in the $100 range. But the tuning wise, they're warmer. I don't think they're what you would call a planar sounding tuning. Like those are unique in terms of the tuning wise. But the other more expensive ones are similar to the RTs. So if you want to try like a planar driver and tuning wise, then these are like the cheapest option that you could get. I don't think the Escort Luna competes with these, because from what I've listened on the internet, they don't have a planar base. So I don't think you would buy them to test planar. So these are the only option around $50 range. So sadly, I don't have anything to compare around $50 range because they're that unique. Right now in 2025, these are the only like cheaper planar IM that you could get that has planar base and planar kind of tuning usually. So that's it for the sound quality. So in conclusion, I 100% recommend these, especially around $50. Around $50 range, like Escort Luna doesn't even goes into the picture. I think these destroy it. And from what I've heard from the reviews, is that they don't have a planar base, and these have the planar base. I would only recommend these if you're interested in a planar sound or the planar driver. But if you're not interested in planar driver, then you have lots of dual DD BA configuration. But around $50 range, these are like one of the best in terms of price to performance ratio. You get so much clarity, detail. They sound fun, so they're also not bad for like as a first IEM. The only bad side is the comfort. I already said that earlier. The comfort is not that great. But around $50 range, I can give it a pass. These are my favorite. So yeah, $50 range, you want to try planar? These are your pick. And there's nothing similar price range. And that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Click like and subscribe, and see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.